Happy Friday and welcome to this week's episode of Boss Up. Listen, we are the House of Hope Atlanta. Our pastor is Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr., and we believe that life with God is better in every way, every day. We are so appreciative for all of our viewers. It's the end of July, and you've been with us since March on the Hope TV, and we just want to take a moment to say thank you. We also want to thank all of our producers and our management team who make sure that we have these amazing guests. So let's talk. Tonight's show is about human resources and laying your leadership capital as an African American community. It's clear that we gain more leadership capital when we work for ourselves. So we get an expert and a small business owner who are going to help us talk through this topic. So let's introduce our guest. We have Carla Mills with us tonight. She's an authentic senior human resources leader who enjoys finding simple solutions to complex problems with empathy, compassion, equity, and clarity. Join me in welcoming Carla Mills to the Hope TV tonight.
Thank you, Pastor Connor. Hello, everyone.
We are, in addition to Ms. Carla Mills, we have Siobhan Green. She works as a contracted photographer for Iconic Group Incorporated. She is also the owner and operator of Green Island Entertainment, which is a photography and videography company. Join me in welcoming Ms. Siobhan Green to the Boss Up Show tonight.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Pastor Connor.
We are so honored to have you both with us. If you're just joining us, family, I need all of our viewers, I need you to share this video on all social media platforms and invite your friends to watch as we acquire helpful tips for business owners and professionals. So let's talk. I want to ask you, starting with you, Ms. Siobhan, I want to start with you. I want to ask you this. What has been your corporate experience in terms of collaboration and empathy? What has been your experience?
So prior to college, my experiences has been in banking and finance, and then my degree was in film and video production. So moving from banking and finance more into the creative world has now placed me where I'm at now with my current businesses, Green Island Entertainment for photography and videography, as well as Cartopia Auto Brokers.
So let's pause right there. We know that your background is extensive, but what I want to know is, in your industry, have you experienced a lot of collaboration and empathy, specifically with those who do the same thing that you do? Talk to me about that.
Yes, so it's always important to have a strong team in anything that you do. And working in the film and video production industry, that's something that is very important, that you always have to collaborate with a team. And that alone, working with a team in that industry has given me the skills that I need to now move forward to create that in my own business.
Nice, nice. So I want to talk to you as well, Ms. Carla Mills. Tell us about your experience in HR. Do you see that there's a lot of collaboration and empathy as well in your industry, or not so much? Talk to us.
Absolutely. I think, first of all, to be a great human resources professional and the majority of your work being with people each and every day, you definitely have to, number one, collaborate to figure out what the best solution is going to be for the employees that you support, as well as the business you support. And you definitely have to do that with empathy, because we are human, we are people, and you can't forget that the main thing that you support is a person, and you have to be empathetic, especially in today's environment of people adjusting to working from home or adjusting to running double duty as parents and as an employee. You definitely have to approach your work from an empathetic perspective in order to make sure that you are engaging your teams as well as getting the best work you can out of the people you support.
So let's switch gears a little bit. We all know that systemic racism and systemic poverty are very real. And so I want to talk to you guys about how we break the mold and how we end systemic racism in our context. So I want to ask you guys this. What can we, as African American professionals, do to break the mold that others try to create for us, right? Because I'm sure that in photography and videography for you, Miss Green, people make all kind of presuppositions about you and who you are because of the color of your skin. So I want to talk a little bit about how we break the mold and create a new paradigm as African American professionals. Let's start with you, Ms. Green.
Okay, of course, yes, for me, both industries that I am in just happen to be male dominated fields, from photography to now being an independent automobile dealer. And that is something that I have to deal with daily. Um, so you have to first not compare yourself to other people. Know, in fact, that you can do it and believe in yourself. And then you have to also quiet the noise that you tend to hear in your ears. And again, like I said, for photography, since college, I've always worked in a male dominated field with photography, and then also now as an independent auto dealer. So for me, it's just not about race, it's also about gender. That I always have to fight with that, just to kind of maintain a level playing field with my male counterparts.
Interesting, interesting. So I'm going to kind of put you guys in dialogue with each other. So, Carla, what do you think about what Ms. Green has shared? Do you think that gender is the most pervasive issue for us as professionals because we all are women? What are your thoughts? What do you think we can do to kind of level the playing field, but then also to create a new paradigm and change how we see each other and how others see us? Weigh in.
You know, I definitely think Ms. Green had some amazing points as being women, first of all, in most of our fields and industries. You're going to be in the minority just from a gender perspective. And then I think as you layer that on in our Black communities, you also not only may be the only woman in the room, but you may also be the only Black woman in the room as well. And really having to figure out, okay, how do I show up? And I've had a lot of conversations in light of everything that's going on in our country right now, where we've all heard it being, Black people having to be twice as good to get half of the recognition. You would hear or see the same things oftentimes for women as well. And one of the things, as I really think about this conversation now, that I urge people to do, because I don't believe it is totally the job or the role of the woman or the role of the person of color to provide all of the solutions for the
Mm,
organizations or for the employers or those sorts of things. They have to want to increase their representation in those underrepresented groups. And so I really urge people, especially when you're starting to look on that corporate America side, to really think about and do your homework and your investigation. They may be giving you a good salary, it may be a great title, but do they have people in leadership that look like you? Do they have people on their board of directors that look like you and that share your values? And I think those are some of the key things that we have to do to ensure that it's the right fit, because you walk into a lot of rooms where you are the lonely only. And, it's time to start having those conversations and pushing for that to change so that we can come to those environments and feel comfortable about being there and not have to think about that all the time.
So I love the way the boss up is structured because we always have different perspectives and different vantage points. And so we have you, Miss Green, as the business owner who is outdoor, and then we also have someone who works in high level leadership in HR. And so you're able to kind of give us some tips and some pointers. So I want to engage both of you on this. I want to know what would you tell someone in this climate, in this economy, who is struggling, who is saying this is not working for me. I want you, Ms. Green, to speak from the perspective of business owners who are struggling. And then you, Ms. Mills, if you could talk from the perspective of somebody who's in one industry and they've got to pivot out of that into something else to stay gainfully employed. So let's start with you, Ms. Green. What advice do you have for entrepreneurs who are struggling?
Um, One of the things, I'm an entrepreneur, but I've also, and I've been self employed for many years, but I've also been a contracted employee. And one of the things that I always tell people, even my own children, is to make certain that you always have multiple streams of income. And for me, that was so very important during this time because as a contracted employee for Iconic Group, our primary business was college and high school graduations. And at no point did I ever think that anything could happen that would interfere with that employment. When you find out in our busiest time of the year, which is spring, all college graduations were canceled. So I myself lost all income during that time. But because I also have a business as a photographer, I could still pick up my camera and I can still shoot. Um, Starting the business as an auto broker, um, I am actually birthing that business during the pandemic. So
Okay, so wait,
that has,
I got stop you right there because you shared something that was very vital and key. I want you to share about your journey and how you were able to solidify your profession and how you do business in such a way that you were able to still have business even if there were no contracts coming in. Because I didn't miss that. I heard that part. So how
okay.
were you still how were you still able to do what you do without someone necessarily controlling your business and how you were able to receive referrals, etc. Okay. Talk to us about that because somebody needs to know that.
Yeah, so you really, for me, I had to go into fast forward mode because my spring season was already planned. I already had events that were on the schedule. And so slowly but surely they started to cancel out in February. So I went into fast forward mode because I knew that I had to do something else. And as far as my own business, I really kind of let that fall a bit when it comes to marketing for my business. So I had to immediately ramp up the marketing for my own business and utilizing social media, utilizing family and friends. Text messaging is great. Teenagers do it, but we as adults also do that as well. And so I had to really go back to the basics quickly. Or else I wouldn't have had anything. And that's for the photography portion of my business. For the auto broker portion of the business, it was also, in a sense, a blessing for that business because not having that business allowed me to focus on the new business and take the time that I needed to really focus on building it the way that I intended it to be done. And otherwise, I would not have had that time. So truly, I am birthing a business during the pandemic, but I didn't stop at all. I just shifted my focus from one to the other. And and I know that we are going to come out of this. We will get beyond this, but I think I'll be better and stronger for it as a business owner because I did utilize that time to focus on building a new business, and while also working for myself for my other business.
Okay, I don't know where Connor went. Oh boy. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know where Pastor Connor went, so we're gonna have to cut there, and we'll pick up. Let me wait to hear from production. Hold on, here they are.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. I was talking, but you guys couldn't see me.
I don't see them on my screen yet.
Okay, let's see. Um, I don't know what happened because I could see everyone, but you guys couldn't hear me.
Your screen went black, Pastor Connor. I'm on with Taji now. Let me see what we need to do.
Okay. Question. Were you guys seeing like where it would stop?
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't stopping.
Your internet
Okay.
Every
connection
now
is
and then
glitchy.
it would just, yeah, it would just
Okay.
kind of glitch, but it wasn't stopping.
Yeah, and it's been kind of going in and out, but we thought we could get through it until you went all the way out.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
she's out again. Okay.
No.
What do we need to do, Taji? I can hear, and I can only see my red box. I don't see them right now. I have a black screen totally.
I'm back. I'm here. I'm here. Okay. Is
Okay,
this
give me
better?
1 second. Let me figure this out.
Yeah. I think it's the rain.
Yeah, this is crazy.
She's at the church. Pastor Connor, are you at the church or at
Yes.
home? She's at the
Church.
church. It's not your internet is not holding your stream, Pastor Connor, for whatever reason. It may be the weather. Um,
Um,
1 second. Let me see.
I can try another machine. I can use the computer that I used last week. Jakes, can you hear me, Miss Mills?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm waiting on Taji to figure. Pastor Connor,
Yes.
do you remember what you were saying when you went out?
Yes.
Okay. Taji, I don't see them on my screen right here now, though.
Sorry, ladies, we apologize for the inconvenience. We typically
That's
don't have
okay.
this. We typically
It's
do
okay.
not have this problem.
If Pastor Connor, if you remember where you were, if you can cut that thought over, and we'll piece it together on the back end.
No problem.
So you can go ahead and you want me to. I'll count it down for you from 5. And 5, 4, 3, 2.
So, Ms. Mills, there are a lot of people who are having to pivot from one profession to another. And so I want to ask you, what does my resume need to look like if I'm trying to move from one industry to another industry?
That is a great question, Pastor Carter. And I think, first of all, your resume should show who you are and it should show the experiences that you have. I'll use myself as an example. So I am a classically trained engineer. My undergraduate degree, my graduate degree are both in engineering, and I spent about 6 years at the beginning of my career in engineering roles and eventually transitioned over into the HR space. And I've been there for a little over a decade now. And what I've learned to do, because I don't want to discount that experience that I've had in the past as an engineer, but that doesn't dominate what's on my resume now. What dominates my resume, even though